Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing mono white humans with no reserve list. This is straight up aggro. It's not a stompy deck. We are really trying to just get a lot of creatures on the table very quickly and overwhelm our opponent. Few new cards in here. Zach Fair, not super impressive, but it is a 1-drop. So it's an 0-1, but it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. So you can move that +1/+1 counter and grant something indestructibility by paying 1 colorless and sacrificing it. So if you draw a red on Zach Fair, you can do that. We also have Erdnan Dromoka Warrior, and he is pretty powerful. 1 colorless, 1 white for a 1/1. When Erdnan enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then whenever you attack, target attacking creature with a +1/+1 counter on it gains first strike until the end of turn. If that creature has 2 or more +1/+1s, it gains double strike. So what this means in practice is that if you cast, say, Champion of the Parish, and then you cast Erdnan, you're immediately attacking for 6 because you put the +1/+1 counter on this. This already has a +1/+1 counter, so it has 2 counters, meeting the criteria to get double strike. If you Guide of Souls, and then you cast a couple creatures, and then you Erdnan, and then you buff this Guide of Souls, you're attacking for 6 in the air. And it only gets crazier with like Thalia's Lieutenant putting +1/+1 counters on everything. You know, Zach Fair moving his counters around, and then your creatures just naturally getting bigger through things like Coppercoat Vanguard. This is a pure aggro deck. We do have some Chromoxes in here to speed things up. We've got the Wastelands and Caverns. Very fun since everything's a human. And in the sideboard, we've got some more humans in Containment Priest. This is very good against Reanimator. We have Deafening Silence, which is one of my least favorite cards of all time, but it's really the only thing that this deck can do against Storm. It's just a concession to how weak aggro is against, multi-spell strategies, and that could be Oops All Spells, that could be Karn Forge. We have the 4 plows in the sideboard. Our goal is to not have to remove creatures, but to just trample right over them with our powerful creatures. And then we have one of my favorite cards, Clarion Conqueror, in the sideboard. This is a little bit expensive, 3 mana, and it is not a human, notably. So we will need a Plains or Mox to cast it, and then our Mox will be forever shut off. But I think that it's going to be pretty awesome against Karnforge type decks. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds, as always. See you in round 1. All right, and just to make sure that you all know, this is a no reserve list deck. You can build this without any reserve list cards. There's no null rods, no dual lands, nothing expensive, no Mox Diamonds. Although Chromox is expensive, it has been reprinted several times and will probably continue to be reprinted. Our opponent's a likely Reanimator player. I don't like this hand against Reanimator. It's just too slow. I don't think wasting them is consequential. There, we got another Wasteland heavy hand. I think there's definitely a risk. They kept 6. Or kept 7 rather. There's definitely a risk that they have Wasteland themselves. I'm going to put back one of these Wastelands. And then we can just open Plains and just not do anything, unfortunately. This is one of the rare games where we don't have any 1-drops. Our deck has like 16, 20 1-drops, tons of 1-drops in it. So I'll just play Plains, pass. Opponent Deltas, probably a Thoughtseize or something. Maybe a Ponder. Okay, this Ponder, oh man, that is a beautiful island. Wow. This is from, I don't even recognize that set symbol. Beautiful island though. All right, and now I think this just caverns into Thalia. And usually these decks do not play main deck Bowmaster. They don't even usually play Bowmaster on the side. So what we're going to try to do is just restrict them a little bit. So this will probably get like a basic. Oh, we're going to have to show them the Wasteland. I guess I'll do that. Okay, so options. 1, we could play Coppercoat. We should play Coppercoat before combat, for sure. And we'll just hold up this Wasteland, and then they're forced to get a swamp here, basically. Oh, they're going to fetch now. Okay. They have a Fatal Push? I think they have a Fatal Push. So they may be on tempo. Oh, they don't. Never mind. Yeah, that always weirds me out. Oh, they have another beautiful Dan Frazier swamp. Look at this thing. Man, my opponent has got some excellent taste in basics. Okay, Entomb. Yeah, we're probably dead, unfortunately, despite our best efforts. Okay. This is just going to reanimate Archon, which we can't really do anything about. I don't think we're likely to overpower this, unfortunately. This card is just, yeah. And I will tell you that in a previous league, I 2-0'd against this deck. I did do a warm-up league. So Containment Priest comes in for sure. I think that's it. And then we just take out... Witch Enchanter is a land, but it doesn't do anything against their deck. Like, they just don't have enchantments. I don't know that they have a lot of removal. Mother of Brooms may not be that great. It also dies to Bowmaster. If they have Bowmaster, though, this is the card we want to cut. Actually, I'm going to take out the Thalias. I'll take out the Thalias completely, and I'll leave these Witch Enchanters in for now. The reason is this dies to Bowmaster, and it also just doesn't do a lot against their deck. And like, why we're bringing in a 2-drop, let's take out a 2-drop so as not to upset the fragile balance of my extremely calculated mana base. If you all know, like, I love doing like mana base math. I mean, we're not throwing this back. So this doesn't do anything. Well, I guess I just warp Halia. I've got nothing else. I'll take the life and put her on warp where she can come back later. I think it's better than doing nothing here. And unfortunately, they likely play Daze and they play Wasteland. Like, it's going to be a hard knock life getting this Containment Priest out there. Good news is, though, if the game completely stalls out, she'll be in warp where she cannot be Thoughtseized out of our hand. Please force her. She's very scary. Look at all that text on her. Please force a will, my Halia. She's got to be part of some degenerate combo. We're playing Legacy, right? Right, so she gives me a life, she warps out, and that's that. Not the most impressive, but she's flexible. Like, she's good in other ways. Okay. They are fetching. It's probably, just another island. Okay. Tommy. So you're telling me that I can lose even though I have a double Containment Priest hand against your combo deck? Yeah, I think we just, it's not really going to matter, but like, we don't have to give them the information until later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Containment Priest and then I'll Copper Coat. Like, if I do that and they flip her. Yeah, they flipped her. Okay. Just very aggressive flip. But they do get a clue as well. So it's not like they did anything wrong there. Okay, this is great because they're not going to know that Containment Priest is out, so they're still optimizing getting the combo. So white, colorless, Containment Priest. Okay, and now what I think we do, I'm going to waste them for sure. Let's go white, colorless, Copper Coat. This makes it harder for them to target our dear Containment Priest. Containment Priest connects for 2 and keeps Tamio low in loyalty. She's about to completely lose loyalty and just run off. That's what I imagine happens. Like when Planeswalkers run out of loyalty, they're just like, just buffing it again. That's fine. Another Tamio to block. All right. So unfortunately, it's a tale as old as time, isn't it? So I could go ahead and just play this Halia. I think we have to Halia and then we have to, I'm going to Halia. White, colorless, Halia. At least she can't be countered. We do gain a life. But Thalia's Lieutenant, it doesn't matter. So this will be big enough to attack in if they don't have yet another removal spell. What? Yeah. I mean, the deck we're playing against, you just have to note that it's like the best Legacy deck of all time, basically. There have been various eras where there have been decks that have been very strong, but they've never been this strong. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. I don't even have Plow in my deck because, like, the whole thing is we're supposed to be the creature deck. Yeah, this is a bummer of a way to start the league. Okay, so... I mean, if we don't attack in and kill this... So what we have to do is... I'm going to play Guided Souls. And they might force it. Okay, they don't force it. Now I'm going to go white, Thalia's Lieutenant. This buffs these. But it's worth noting that as long as they just hang back, they have nothing to fear. I'm going to play this out tapped. Because, wait a second. Do I get to draw a card here? I did gain 3 life. So I believe I get to draw a card here. I can't attack into this, unfortunately. Next turn, I can give flight to one of these, and it's just the only option, the only out is if I draw like another Guide of Souls, but I'm not going to have the energy. I'm going to probably have to kamikaze my entire squad to try to take a little, like just a tiny amount of loyalty off her. I'm going to go ahead and play this tapped because I might need the mana. And frankly, the body doesn't accomplish anything here. It's too much mana. It's too much mana to cast. So we can't do anything here. We'll just pass, draw our extra card, then we'll draw one more card, and we'll hope that we can get enough triggers here. Yeah, we got another Guide of Souls. That's part of the solution there. This will trigger, so we need one more creature that we can cast. So we could Guide, and then we could Containment Priest, and then we could give flight to two of these. All this presupposes that our opponent is not going to have some other insane bomb like a Murktide or something along the way. I like to think that Containment Priest is doing something to shut off something, but who knows? But what I was saying about this deck is, like, this deck is just, it is so strong on every dimension. It's the best tempo deck. It's the best control deck. It's the best combo deck. It's just the best deck overall. And if you've played against it before enough, like hundreds of times like I have, you'll start to appreciate just how difficult it is to reliably beat it. Okay, they're plussing this, and they shouldn't attack or anything. They should just hang back and draw half the deck. Okay. Wasteland doesn't accomplish anything here, unfortunately. I'm going to play it out. So, first things first. White mana, Guide of Souls. Let me think about this. I'm trying to think of whether it makes sense to go ahead and waste. So we gain some life. Again, none of this matters because our opponent's about to draw half their deck. Under normal circumstances, it'd be great. Okay, so now I think we do go ahead and waste. This takes double days off the... Well, it doesn't technically take double days off the table. They could have double days still. Okay, so before I attack, I can pass to... I should be able to attack, pass to my begin combat step. And then I can flash this in. That mana burns off. Containment Priest. If they just have a force, that's the game. They have the... Good game. Like, what we were going to do... So I'll just tell you what we're going to do. We're going to attack with this. We're going to attack with this. We're going to attack with this. This, like everything. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do it just to show you how futile this is. Okay. Actually, we don't even have enough to give flight. So, yeah, because that stopped us. So, there's nothing to see here. Round 2, we're on the play. Our opponent is likely on Karnforge, but this hand is fine. I think I just open Guide, and I just ignore the mocks. Like, frankly, well, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll draw something next turn that I want to use the mocks on. I don't think I want to get it out now. I guess I could put a Copper Coat in here, and then I could Guide and Mother the same turn cycle. And next turn, I would have Copper Coat plus a waste on a land. I think that's actually better just because we're attacking with more. If they're on Karnforge, they're not going to care about Mother Runes because they have Colorless Exile. So I'm going to go ahead and play it first just in case they like force it because I don't think that would be likely. Okay. Now we'll play this out. Human. And I'm going to cast the one that like matters the most here. And then we'll attempt to cast this one too. And I mean, this is really what our deck wants to be doing is just playing its entire hand turn 1, basically, or turn 2. They forced that. Murktide Regent into the exile. That's great. Okay. Yeah, we got a 2-for-1. If they have a Fatal Push, though, if they're on tempo, that's bad because then we don't have anything going on. Yeah, just Merc. Oh, they're just on Bolt Delver. Actually, this is a pretty bad matchup. I'm going to waste them and just hope that it does something. Thalia. Love it. White, colorless Thalia. So now Thalia shouldn't be killable, but they can't play out a creature. They have just 2 types in the yard if they have DRC. Wasteland. Huh. Okay, well, I'm still going to hit you, but you're probably going to catch up with me unless I find a land right now. Nope. Okay. I don't regret any of the decisions. They're just saying you shouldn't shouldn't waste Delver. And it's often true. I'm not saying it's true here. We'll find out. If we draw like just a land, we might be okay. They don't have a land. All right. Love it. The best land. I mean, actually plains would be better here, but because they could waste this too. But yeah, I think we actually may have this game. We're hitting for 3. Delver does play a pretty low land count. They've already got 3 lands in their graveyard. There's the land. Tomio. Oh no, not again. All right, well, I'm going to just hit with both of these. Witch Enchanter. I am going to play this out. Just tapped. Just so they can't disrupt me. I think we can race Tomio here. It's the rare situation where Tomio is not fast enough. The greatest tempo card ever printed. Soon to be the second best. Well, I should say the greatest non-Ragavan. I mean, Ragavan is just ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking with Ragavan. But thankfully they banned Ragavan very quickly. Much faster than they banned Tomio, unfortunately. Okay. So this is just a plows in. I don't like Witch Enchanter here. It doesn't hit anything. Well, it could blow up the cutter. I mean, the fact that they forced Mom means she should probably stay in. I think we cut Thalia's Lieutenant. It's just slow, and it's 2 mana. And they're going to have aerial creatures. We have to beat them on the ground. And they're going to be going after our lands. I think this is the card to cut. This is impactful. It does slow them down substantially. This is good because it gives ward and basically forces them to bolt this before they can bolt anything else. Zach Fair is pretty meh, but it is a 1-drop. I'm going to prioritize 1-drops here and deprioritize the 2-drop. They are not going to be chalicing us since their deck is like almost entirely 1-drops as well. This is a mulligan. This is a snap, keep. I'll just put the Mox back. We already have all the mana we need. Like, this deck functions very well on just 2 mana. So I'll plow their first threat, and then I'll Zach Fair. And hopefully they won't have days. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to have to plow it. I can't wait around. This card is way too strong. All right, we drew the 3rd land. Okay, that worked. That's a huge W. All right, Ponder. We had the Brewer's advantage. They're most likely on Cutter, but they have absolutely no idea what we're on or why we're playing these janky cards. No reserve list, baby. All right, they're pondering their face off. Great movie. If you like John Travolta, or Nicolas Cage. So I think the conservative thing to do is just Zach Fair and make sure that this Thalia sticks. Because it'd be really embarrassing to get any of our spells dazed. We got a reader. Yeah, like my kind of like mentality against Delver is like shut off their dazes by just playing patiently if you can afford to do so. You can't when you're under the gun, but when they have no creatures, you can. Tomio, are you going to flip her immediately? Because that would annoy the hell out of me. And I'm not going to plow her. I'm just going to let her generate card advantage because if I don't, I'm going to be completely screwed. All right, let's, I mean, we can Urdnot here. And that attacks for 4. It's like a double striker. I need to buy time. I could go ahead and try to Thalia here. I want to keep pushing damage. No, maybe that's a mistake. All right, so I think what's going to happen is they're probably going to brainstorm here. And then I plow, and then... But I need to get the plow out of my hand anyway. Oh, wow, they didn't. Wasteland. Not going to find much purchase over here. Although I do have that Witch Enchanter. I would love to cast Witch Enchanter on a Quarry Steelcutter. This is fine. So what I'd like for them to do is just go ahead and flip. And then I can attack in. Yeah. I should be able to attack in here with the Urdnot. They shouldn't be able to bolt. So I should be able to lethal this dude. This chick, this Planeswalker thing. No, wait, I won't be... Wait. I'll be able to hit for 3. Right, so this goes up to 4 power, but its double strike unfortunately gets debuffed. So the double strike doesn't really matter. Ah! Oh, okay. I could just pay 1, move this counter over here. And then she gets double strike and she kills that. I'm going to do that. They can't do anything about this, I don't believe. They could force Erdnon, which would make this not work. Okay. They could pay for days and daze me, but they can't double daze. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to play this out and shock myself. I don't think there's a good reason to do so. I mean, technically, if I play this out, then I'm holding up plow, but that doesn't seem good. I'm going to play this out. Am I going to pay the life? Yes, I'm going to pay the life. I don't actually think this is correct. I think I'm just playing scared. Please don't force this. Do this. Now we're going to kill Tamio. There's nothing you can do about because Thalia has made all of your cards verboten. Double striking. All right. I want them to waste this. If they like tap out for some crazy spell, I do have plow this turn. That's fine. Love it when my opponent has to brainstorm here. They're going to try to find a bolt for Thalia, which will suck. They fetch. I think they found it. We don't have a lot going on over here. Oh, yeah. I can even freaking incept this. I have no fear. So I knew I wasn't just being totally paranoid. I knew that that was what was going to happen. Yeah. All right. Are we going to beat them? Heck yeah, we're going to beat them. Check this out. And I'm just going to blow up this clue. Shuffle some dirt on you. Why don't I? I mean, they can still win from here. It's conceivable. But we are hitting them for a lot here. We're hitting them for like 9. They have 26 life. So it's not going to be over immediately. We're hellbent. They have 5 cards in hand. I think they can probably figure out a way through this. If they are able to bolt this, that's just the game. Basically, it's like really devastating. Corey. Bobble. This is a second trigger. Okay, but we don't have to worry about getting bolted at least. They waste our land. If we find a second Witch Enchanter, we can blow that up. Or a third, I guess. We did technically play one out. But again, that was what allowed us to do the end step plow. So we would have been a turn behind. They would have drawn a card. They are going to draw a card off this bobble. I'm just going to waste one of their lands here and just keep attacking. I'll attack with the Witch Enchanter if they want to trade. Okay, they traded. Interesting. They're going to take 8 damage here. They're at 9. They have to cast 2 spells. Spell number 1. They have to find a land and like a bolt. Again, like I'm just living in fear of bolts here. I'm so lucky they haven't found it yet, but they probably will find it and then the game will end, unfortunately. They've seen a ridiculous number of cards. It seems extremely unlikely that they don't find a land here. And if they find like a fetch, they can shuffle their deck. Okay, they did find a land, but it's not the land they want. They can still cast a bauble if they have one. They put a surgical into the graveyard. Why is surgical in your deck, friend? All right, they are going to get a dude. If we find a plow, we can clear this, and then we can not kill them, but we can do a lot of damage. If I can buff this even 1 point, it'll be great. Like if I found another Erdnon, for example, or another Zach Flair, whatever his name is, Zach Fair, I can't remember. Zach Flair sounds like a wrestler name. I might be thinking Ric Flair. Okay, guide comes in. It's not a bad card. And we'll just hit for 1 and we'll pass. This is not a forced block, so I shouldn't attack. Yeah, I'll just attack like this. I do think it's extremely likely they just kill this with a bolt. We have 3 cards in hand. But now we have a new kind of powerful card that we need a lot of action before we can really make that work. Yeah, and the great news is they're just kind of like treading water, staying alive over there. Like they're going to spend a lot of resources trying to kill this, but then they'll probably have all the mana they need. Like they bolt first and then... Really? Okay. All right. They may have like some sort of double spell thing here. I'm not going to show weakness. I'm just going to attack. So if I attack everything and they have the bolt and they also have something else, like the safe thing to do is just attack this. But even though I have lethal on the table, because I think it's extremely likely they have a bolt. And if they don't, I'll just kill them next turn, I guess. Okay, we are the luckiest player on earth today. We win the luck thing, whatever that is. They don't know what's in our hand. DRC. That is a chumper. Okay, so I think the play here is we Halia. We can cast her twice to get extra energy over the course of 2 turns. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I'll just cast her twice to get extra energy. I mean, they can't counter her. They can try to counter her. They could like double daze or something just to proc this. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to pay. She's in. Okay, this procs. So we only gain 2 life, unfortunately. It's not enough to draw a card. They scooped. All right, we beat the cutter 2-0. Round 3, we're up against a likely Merfolk player. I played 5-0'd with Merfolk lately, which is awesome. Shout out to Hataraxy, however it's pronounced, for doing that. Our hand, I mean, they're a Wasteland deck. This doesn't actually do anything against them. Neither does this. This is a mulligan. I mean, I'm going to just assume they're still playing Merfolk. This is way better. I'll keep this. So the cards that matter here, Guide and the Guide, I mean, on the first turn would be insane. We could outscale them. So let's say the other option is we just Guide and we take it slower and then we don't, run out our entire hand. Yeah, on the draw, I think we just put the Mox back and we Guide and then we Guide and Champion next turn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then we have this as a second land. It'll cost us 3 mana, but it won't mean 2 for 1ing ourselves. Okay, island. So basic island start has a sweet looking island. Some great non-basics, or some great basics in this series. So they weren't playing Daze in their build, which I think is a mistake, but we can take a look at their build. I don't see a single Daze in there. I think Cavern of Souls is fine, I guess. So I think they're probably going to play some sort of, like they might turn this into an island so they can have island walk. Lots of things that could potentially happen. If you're new to the channel, like one of my favorite no reserve list decks is Merfolk. My opponent said, "You made me play Merfolk again." To great effect. I said, to great effect, I saw Crucible of Words playing your build. I said, yes, it was a good pick. So my opponent didn't even realize that Crucible of Words, another legacy creator on YouTube, had done a league with that. Oh, the good news is it's very hard for them to remove this. Like they're definitely going to be bringing in Dismembers post-combat. So they have some sort of flash threat, which doesn't matter to me. Like if they have, I'm very familiar with the deck. They're probably going to cast, let's go ahead and play this out. Vexing Hexcatcher, I can't remember what it's called. Vidolian Hexcatcher, that's it. Okay, so first things first, Guide of Souls. The buffs. Now we're going to play Champion. And I sequenced this way because it's more important for me to get these triggers and get life and flight and everything. Like we're very favored in this matchup because we have tons of life gain and we have evasion, which we're going to use right now. They could have the one that takes away all abilities, which would suck because then they can't. They can take away the flight, but they're still going to lose their dude if they play it. So I think they may play it end step. And then I could just pile on with my Lord effect, which is not as good as their Lord effects. Yeah, here's the Hexcatcher. But like we have basically like no non-creature spells in our deck except for Moxen. They can waste this. It's not the end of the world. They're not even wasting it. Lord of Atlantis. Wait, why are they paying colorless for that? I think they just screwed up. They could have wasted me there. Yeah, that was a punt. Like that was a hugely consequential punt potentially. This does have Island Walk. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this through. I'm just gonna race them. I'm gaining 2 life every time I cast a creature. I'm about to cast Coppercoat. They could force it. They agree that it was a consequential misclick. Okay, I'm just gonna go for Coppercoat, and they probably will force it. Like if they have a force. Yeah, they force. Okay. So I'll just hit it for 3, and we'll just keep sticking things. I have to draw another land, though, now. Yeah, and now they're going to layer on another dude. I could actually lose this. They could make this an island, and then they could waste me. And then I have to draw an island now. Yeah, that force was really powerful. They're down to 2 cards. That was a Sink into Stupor. Yeah, and then they waste me. Like the fact that I told them it was consequential misclick, but they saw I missed a land drop there, so it's not like... I mean, we could double block here, and then that reduces their power. And yeah, I'm going to do that. They don't... Wait, this is an island? Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to block anything. Okay. Come on, deck. Oh, we're going to die. I might as well attack with this in the air. I think... Are we dead next turn? Probably. They have 2 cards in the hand. If we could find another land, we'd be okay, I think. Because we jam this, we gain 2 life. These get buffer. But like, there's no point in holding this back. I guess technically to block this, but yeah, maybe I should have done that. Okay, what is this? 3 drop? Yeah, that's fine. It actually, like, I should have just blocked here. This doesn't have Island Walk. I made a huge punt by attacking. So it's my own damn fault that I'm losing this game. I'll wait till next turn. I don't think it matters now. Yeah. So now, like, I have to draw exactly an island. Or exactly a plains, rather, to be in. Yeah, I think if I played differently, if I'd blocked there, first of all, they wouldn't have attacked in if I kept this up. Yeah, so I mistook who was the beat down there. That was my fault. So I'm going to bring in the plows. I'm going to take out Thalia. They don't have very many non-creature spells in their deck. Esper Sentinel is a 1-drop at least. We're going to run. Plow is pretty good against their deck. And it makes sense when you're bringing in plows to take out Thalia. So one of the key things in playing Legacy is knowing when you're the beatdown and when you're not. And I was so distracted by this banter that I forgot that I was actually the control, not the beatdown. So this is fine. This is Chrome Mox on Thalia's... Oh, wait. Whoa. We don't have the white swords. No, wait. We do. So Witch Enchanter, Halia, Mox, boom, Guided Souls. And we get to draw a card. I'm gonna keep this on that strength. And then we can waste the next turn. They mull to 6. I don't think they're going to be keeping Force. I'd be surprised if Force was in their deck right now. 5 cards. Okay. These Thalia's Lieutenants just... They're okay. You know what's better? Gaining a whole bunch of life against an aggro deck. And... I screwed up. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I punted so hard. Yeah, I could have... yeah, sorry. I think at this point, yeah, I just put this under here and I just accept. So what I needed to do was play this out untapped. That was a total punt. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to go ahead and play this first just to see. Okay, and now I'm just going to play this tapped. Save 3 life. It is meaningful. Yeah, I totally punted because I could have drawn a card off Halia and gained a ton of life. Got an energy and done tons of stuff. I'm going to try to tighten up. I apologize. Okay, Tide Shaper, just not kicked. That's fine. Okay. So, I think what we do here, we warp and then we copper coat. And I like to warp because I like to cast her more than once to get more triggers. But unfortunately, this is not going to trigger. Artifacts do count though. That's why I was like, oh, I screwed up the sequencing. So I can attack here for 2. And then next turn, assuming we still have land, we can Thalia. Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah, it's a bummer that we didn't get a card. Oh, wait, it gave us a card? Oh, yeah, we gained 3 life because of this. Okay. They scooped. Wow. So even with that punt, that was a really strong start, though. All right, let's run it back. All right, game 3. I don't think this is a good hand. I'm going to mull. This is a great hand. All right. So it's not spectacular, but like we just plains and then we chill. I'll put back a Witch Enchanter. Cavern means that we can uncounterably cast Coppercoat, which will protect our other dudes. Another Lieutenant. We're just going to go super wide and we're going to hope we can go wider than them. Tide Shaper kicked. That's strong. And they can go after our cavern here. Zach Fair. I'm going to name human here. Of course. It's a human deck. Everything is human. And then I think this is just Coppercoat Vanguard. And then next turn, we can cast stuff, but it won't be uncounterable. But I didn't want to bolt this in if there's a chance that I don't have to, if that makes sense. Like, if I draw like just a plains off the top, then I'm just going to do that. This is always the last land you want to play out of your hand. Because, I mean, if we just rip land, I don't think there's any target in their deck, but we can still play it out. Okay, they are casting Harbinger, which is actually pretty devastating. Yeah, it's pretty devastating. Wow. What a beating. I'll trade here if you attack. They're not going to attack. Oh my goodness. Well, I am just going to play this out as a land. Yeah. We don't lose life. It's just an island. Wow. I've never had this happen to me. Like, this is crazy. You would never bring this in against a deck like mine. That doesn't make any sense. But it's working out for them. Okay. So, again, we just hang back and, like, they don't have good attacks because if they attack with either of these. So, this is probably something that gives them Island Walk. Oh, Silver Go. Yeah. Yeah, man. What a beating. We have, I think, like 7 planes in the deck. So, we could draw one. We could also draw a Mox. Or we could draw nothing. We're just killing. Humiliating. It is utterly humiliating when you're playing a monocolor deck and you get stuck in a situation like this. But Master, okay, we're going to die very quickly here. You should never plan around this. Like, it's wrong to bring this in. But my opponent's getting rewarded for my air quotes wrong, for their wrong play, in my humble opinion. And I don't think even if we find a white source, they've got so much pressure. GG's. All right, see ya. Round 4, we're 1-2 after kind of an upset loss to Merfolk, but it's cool. This looks like a pretty good hand. Opponent's likely on tempo, which does mean they could be playing like blue-black tempo. That was what they played a little over a month ago. My instinct is just get on the table with Mother of Runes. That way we can protect an Esper Sentinel. Yeah, I think that's correct. It's very hard for them to deal with Mother of Runes. They have to like interact with it. So they have to have the Fatal Push for it now. And then we can just do it again next turn. If they do have the Fatal Push. Okay. They fetched a Volk. Okay, so we're doing this again. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so they are almost certainly on Cutter. I am just going to play another one of these. On human, I'm going to assume that they're not playing black. I'll play this out first. And then I'll play out the Mother of Runes. It doesn't really matter. But this way, when they try to remove this, they will most likely have to also give us a card. DRC. Okay, I like it. All right, so I think we just straight up cast Halia. The other option is we Warper. We play Zach Fair. I'm going to shock. Am I going to shock this in? I kind of do want to shock this in. And then, like, I'm going to attack. And then we're just going to get damage on them. If I shock this in and I Halia, I get an extra life. And then I can just play Halia next turn. No, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to Halia with Warp. And then I'll Zach Fair. And I'll get an extra life. We're not going to be able to trigger her draw, like gain life thing. But this is still pretty good. And now I'll just play this out tapped. Because we are up against Delver and we want to respect that. I will just attack for 1. I don't think they're going to block. Considering I can... Yeah, I mean, they would lose this because of Mother of Runes. And then they get a chance to kill Mother of Runes. Because it'd be tapped. But I still don't think that would be the play. Quick hit in. Now Halia goes away. We'll bring her back next turn. Uncounterably, unless they waste us. Okay, so that does trigger Esper Sentinel. We get a card. It's a Mox, which does trigger Halia whether we imprint or not. So if we draw a creature, we could potentially trigger her and draw an extra card. They shuffle. Did they find a land? They didn't find a land. Wow, that's so lucky. Okay, So we're bringing in Plow here. We're taking out Thalia when we bring in Plow. Is that how we want to do it? Yeah, I think so. I mean, this does dramatically slow down the cutter. Maybe we cut the lieutenant instead. Yeah, I think we cut the lieutenant. This is how I boarded in the previous Delver matchup. Life gain is very strong against Delver. I've been very happy with like this hand is not good enough in my humble opinion. I was going to finish my thought. I've been very happy with Guide of Souls. I mean this. Yeah, this is a mulligan. This is a snap keep. Got basics. I think Erdon's cute here. And we have Zach Fair. I think this goes back. Copperco is way better. We're not going to be able to like surprise, like hit them for 20 with Thalia. I mean, we could potentially. We do have Zach Fair. I don't think that's the correct line though. DR Susan, do you have a bauble? No. I think there's a high likelihood that they have a daze. Do I want to play into daze? I think we just play Zach Fair because Guide of Souls, we don't want to get that dazed. And maybe like that baits out their daze / bolt. Yeah, I'm going to try that. I don't care about this card at all. Like, this is just a generic one drop. It's the best one drop I could find to put in the deck. I mean, technically it works well with Erdon, but it's nothing to write home about in my humble opinion. If it wasn't legendary, it'd be pretty good. Okay, they have the cutter. Do you also have the bauble? You didn't have the bauble last turn, but you might have held it. They don't have the bauble. They don't have good attacks. Cavern is fantastic. We can just stick Thalia now, and they will be unlikely to be able to proc this. And I think we just attack. I mean, technically, this is kind of like we're not the beatdown, but we kind of are the beatdown. If you see what I mean, like we're going to be applying a lot of pressure here. Unholy Heat. This is definitely targeting her. Okay. And there's 2 damage. Okay. All right. They don't have a trigger. They're going to attack for 1. That's fine. So now I can guide into Coppercoat, but I still don't want anything to get... Oh, wait. I think this might be a Wasteland. So let's think about this. So let's say hypothetically we guide. I think we guide and we waste here. This dramatically reduces the likelihood. We could also Coppercoat, but I want to get the life gain. And then I can just attack for 1. And then if they try to kill this, I can always like just use the ability to target this. So they could like cantrip into land, into cantrip, and then get this going. They're 1 card away from... Yeah, I mean, I think that's likely what's going to happen here. Borrower to the yard. That's not very good against my deck. I mean, it could be okay because it could potentially, like if I get a lot of counters on something. Did you find a bubble? No? And that's fine. I've got 2 more lanes, but I will have to play stuff slowly now. I don't want to play in the days. So I want to draw a 1-drop very badly here. Cavern. I like it. That's a good draw. Let's go ahead and play this out. And we're going to try to tempo them, I think. So we gain a life. We hit for 4. Now if they find a bolt, they have to kill this instead of my guide. Okay. That's the first trigger. They fetch. And they're going to get the second trigger. This might be a bolt. Yep. Unfortunate. And had I kept mana up, which I couldn't have done, I could have saved this. I'll take 5. 12. Champion of the Parish is not a bad card. I will play it off of this uncounterably. Now we have to ask, okay, are we going to block? Because if we're not going to block, we should just smash. They're low in life. I think I just attack. This, you don't have to tap him. You can use him to protect. So I just want to keep the guide alive no matter what. They could go super wide. I can also always grant indestructibility and move this over to like absorb a lot of damage. I don't care about Zach Fair at all. Like it feels sad because I mean he looks like such a nice guy, you know? Okay. It's prowess trigger. Surveil. I'll let that happen. I am going to save this. I need to continue to generate, like, gain life here. They have a second bolt. We're We're taking so much damage. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. I think we're dead. Let's see. They get another dude. That's not death. I don't think... I'm trying to think of what we could even draw here. The warp chick would save us for a turn. Like, there's no point in blocking here. I don't think I can block next turn. I want to keep this around just in case I draw the... Oh, what can I draw? Plow's pretty good. There's not one card. I am going to play this out. No, I'm not going to play it out. I'm going to plow now. Okay. And we're at 5. I probably have to trade with this. I think the odds of them not having a card are very low. But at least I can chump for a turn cycle. No, I can't chump at all. All right, now we get to be on the play against the deck that does not like to be on the draw. I like the deck configuration. I think Thalia is pretty good. I mean, like, they do have like 12 creatures, if even that now. It might be like 10. So this does tax practically everything in the deck. All right, let's see if we can get a keepable 7. We can't. This is mulligan. This is a keep. Okay. I think we just put back Witch Enchanter. I do like the idea of wasting them. And I'm just going to guide waste, probably. They mulled a 6 as well. Let's hope they don't have a lot of lands up in there. Play the best card in our deck. They have DRC, that's fine. I'm going to waste first. That way they can't daze. I think I just attack. Next turn, we're going to have a flyer. Assuming that this resolves, which is a big assumption. The best draw is a Caverns, so that we can definitely resolve this. Scariest thing they could have would just be a bolt for one of our dudes, which is what they have, unfortunately. That is pretty devastating. They hit the one that's tapped for some reason. I guess they didn't want to attack. Their deck is all about reducing our life total. I'm surprised they didn't attack there. I don't believe... Let's see, is this preordained? Instant? Yeah, I don't think that it's likely. Oh, Mom. I'm going to play around days here. They may force. Okay. I think we just chill. I don't want to attack in. I'm not going to be blocking. I think I do attack in. It's very minor, but unless they have like Snuff Out, which they wouldn't be able to cast. Yeah, I'm not sure. This, like, you basically never want to block with this if you can avoid it. It's so strong. But, like, just chipping damage where we can. All right, this is... Okay, and if they have the bauble, what are they? They bend a Cory. Okay, so they do have Delirium. All right, please don't have a bauble. They don't have a bauble. All right, we're lucky. Okay, so this comes in, and now we get to see whether they have a force, which probably shouldn't be in their deck. Now I'm just going to go in for Aerial. I have to do this in order to buff so that it can block later. And I will hang it back to block later, but it has to attack first. The trigger doesn't work if it's not attacking. All right. And now we've got Mom to protect this. And most importantly, protect this. But it's going to be hard for them to double spell with Thalia out. Okay, that's the first spell. So now they could double spell. Okay. Yeah, that works. Murktide would be very scary here if they set that up. Okay. We're going to get hit for 3 here. They can't attack with the Cory, I don't believe. Even if they found... Like, they've already played a land, right? Yeah, they played the island this turn. So they shouldn't attack. If they attack, they're crazy. Now we're on the defensive. I'm not going to be attacking anymore. That's a great rip. Gets a life. I just chill. Yeah, we just have to be on the defensive. And we have to hope that they don't find baubles and cantrips and stuff like that. But they probably will. This kills one of these this turn cycle. They've already used one bolt. Another one. That's scary. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? They can even pay for it. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. They should pay for this. Yeah, I mean, like, this is basically like the nightmare that they had another DRC. to get underneath the Thalia. They're going to lose one here, but they're going to hit us for a lot. Okay, but they are tapped out, so I just block here. I block one of those. These don't have to attack. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do is I will just go to blocks, block here, I'll block here, and then I can just give Thalia pro red. These are red? They're white? It looks like a white creature. Is it a white creature? Let's see. White monk. Okay, so we need to give it pro white. We will still take 1 damage trample. All right, and that's pretty strong defense. Oh, we didn't even need to do that because it's first strike. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're in a decent position. I would like another creature, please. That's not terrible. I think we just plow this while they're tapped out. Wait, let's think about this. If they have Murktide, that would be catastrophic. I think we have to be... Yeah, I'm just going to be prepared for Murk here. So another one will crash in here. Yeah, it's not like there was a better block, though, by the way. Like, I know I didn't technically need to give that, but they were tapped out. I risked nothing by doing that. So this is a Brainstorm. I'm going to give them the triggers. That's fine. They are not paying, so we get a land. Okay. I'm just going to be ready to plow the Merc if the Merc comes. We might draw a Witch Enchanter, which would be great. They may have Dazes in their hands. This is a very exciting match. Okay, they found the second land, so they can cast again, and they can proc this. This Mom is very load-bearing. I think they're in a really tight pinch here. They can equip here, which might be the play. I think actually they should have done that, yeah. Maybe they didn't realize they could do that. Okay, so I'm going to just block here and here. And if they have an instant, they can overrun. Let's see. I mean, do I feel comfortable taking 5? I think so. I can't lose this. I have to keep the Mom up for that. And I'm not going to plow quite yet. If they tap out for a Merc, then I can plow. They'll gain a ton of life. Okay, they don't have it. Interesting. All right, we have 8 life. We just have to get through one more of these things. Play this out. We're going to chill. We will wait until you're completely out of resources. Only then will we start attacking. We are the control. I could just plow here. I think that's fine. I mean, this is going to die. Let's think about this. So they attack with it. We just block, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, they might have a bolt for this. I could go ahead and give this pro red now and see what they do. If they have a bolt or something like that for this, I don't know. Yeah, so this will just absorb the full amount of it. I want to hold out because, like, again, Murktide is going to solo me. It's so huge. Okay, I do think we block here. And I think that was a bad attack with the monk. I don't think they should have attacked there. They have plenty of mana. What are they going to spend it on? I think they're afraid of giving me cards here. I think that's fine. I have to accept that. I do get a card. Okay, it's another card that we can't really use. So we can cast anything we want here if we have something to cast. Oh, that's a good card. I'll play it. That gains me a life. Oh my goodness. I think we do play this out just in case they make the mistake of wasting me, which they should definitely not do at this point. I mean, I'm not going to block with this thing. I guess I could attack with it. One more creature, and we can give some additional flight. I just want to make them attack first. Another one. Well, that's not good news. Are they going to pay? If they pay, they can't cast a second spell. Okay, they give us that. So the good news is I think they're going to leave this equipped when they cast their second spell. And so we're going to be able to plow. Oh no, is this Merc? It was just Brainstorm. All right, I'm going to let this resolve first. Because we have like undazable, unforceable plow on this. Okay, they equipped that one. They're not moving the other one over. Wait, they are? Okay, now this dies. That was a punt. That was a huge punt. You just let it create. You don't equip it. Yeah, I think they probably know that they messed up. Attacking with everything, which is also a punt, in my opinion. So let's block here, block here. And this is just the exact opposite of the previous round where, like, in game 1 of the Merfolk matchup, I failed to realize I was the control. But here, I fully realized, like, yes, I'm absolutely the control, and I just need to be conservative. And that's what I'm doing. This is freaking phenomenal. Everything will resolve. I don't even need to use the thing. I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and now we can go on the offensive. The game's over. All right. Wow, that was tight. Final round, we're 2-2 fighting for the positive record on the draw. Opponent is likely playing the Belcher, or not Belcher. They play that in Modern. They're likely playing the big blue deck. What I think we do is we just cavern into champion. We could also... No, wait. We could Halia. We could do the trick to draw a card. And I could just put this under there. And then I have champion out. And next turn, I Erdnon. And then that gets buffed. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This is a good hand, though. This is basically exactly what we want. Yeah, and they're on the degenerate, blue deck. It's like so annoying to play against this deck. It's totally... I guess it's more interactive than the other Karn Forge, but... Okay, so let's not screw this up. Here, human. That is what we're playing. Let's go ahead and white Halia. Now we get a life for this. Then we get a life for this. I am going to... I think I just put Mother Runes. They're playing Karn or Kozilek's Command. And Champion of the Parish and Thalia's Lieutenant could both help us with the rush. This doesn't really help us with anything. It's just a cheap creature we can play out. Now, Champion of the Parish. Again, we could play Esper Sentinel, which is more impactful against their deck. If they force here, they actually deny us a draw. That would be very savvy of them. They do. Okay, we got a smart opponent here. Pitching, sinking to stupor. Yeah. All right. Well, we tried. So what we're going to do next turn is I think we just play out Erdnon, buff himself. I mean, if we draw a land, we could play out Esper Sentinel too. I think we just lost. Here comes the freaking One Ring. I can't stand this card. Oh, it's Karn. Yeah, that actually is pretty devastating too. Yeah, this deck is just like, good luck beating it with an aggro deck. What do they get? Sometimes they just go straight for... I mean, they should go for something that helps them win and not go for Ensnaring Bridge, but they went for Ensnaring Bridge. I do have 4 answers to that in my deck. I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and we're just going to chill. Uncounterable. Like, they should be able to pay mana for this stuff. They can Lattice Lock us next turn if they want. Like, if they have an Ancient Tomb, they just go Lattice Lock. Or if they have another, really anything. So unfun to play against this deck. Sorry for being salty. I was hoping to have an exciting... Like, the previous rounds were fun, but not this round. Yeah, we're done. They're just going to go Lattice Lock us. Okay, so Conqueror comes in for sure. Mom doesn't matter. None of these other cards matter. A Containment Priest is probably meaningless. I think we keep Mom just because she's a cheap beat that we can deploy. Our goal is just to get to Conqueror and then not have Conqueror exiled by K command. And then we can have a positive record. We have to do that twice. There are situations where we can go wide enough. Like if they hadn't had the force, we would have been hitting it for like 6 per turn and that would have shut down their Karn line. But they could have... No, they couldn't have forced this because we had the cavern. So yeah, I think we probably would have won if they hadn't had force. But we don't know the full contents of their hand. This is an exceptional hand. Thalia is quite good. So I'm just going to guide and then I'm going to Thalia. And I always guide first. I know the champion will get buffed a little bit more, but guide is so freaking good if we can get flight. And it works really well with Adnon, and like lots of other cards. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and... All right, guides in. And what we can do is next turn we can Thalia, and then we can double dude. Witch Enchanter is very good against their deck. I do think Thalia is the play here. I think it'd be a mistake not to. It's likely they have the freaking One Ring. They always seem to have it. I mean, every time you're like, okay, I got a Force of Will in my hand. Just imagine instead of having Force of Will, you just have this card that absolutely destroys your opponents. Okay, so we're not doing a lot there. They dismembered our poor guided souls. He just wanted to show you where the souls were. I like, look, he's like, come here. Let me show you this cave. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of mana next turn. Wasteland would be pretty chill if our deck wanted to give us that. Another cavern is not very helpful, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to play it out, though. So we do have Witch Enchanter in like 2 turns, which does blow up some stuff in their deck. It doesn't blow up the One Ring. I think we just have to play a Mom. Oh, wait, we played Champion first, of course. Then we play Mom. This will grow the Champion ever so slightly, which is relevant if we find Adnan later. And then we attack for 2, and we pass. We do have a lot of creatures on board, which means they're not just going to be able to Karn into Lattice Lock immediately. Okay, Lorien revealed. I mean, maybe this means that they don't, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, Island 4. 4 mana, and they can't, they could K-Command. No, they couldn't K-Command this, but they could K-Command this. But if they have like oh, yeah. Never mind. They've got like 6 mana. Yeah. Okay. And like, I'm not going to scoop here just yet, but like, I think earlier I scooped when they had like 3 keys and a One Ring. And I was trying to explain that like, no, this was correct. You're not coming back from this. Okay. I'll just play this and I'll pretend that like we have a prayer here, but like, we're not fighting against fair magic. We're fighting against degenerate magic. And until the One Ring gets banned, it's not going to be like particularly fun to play decks like ours against, fortunately. Because like, why not? Like, why would you ever play a control deck when you can just play this? And that's why you won't see me playing any control decks anymore. Like, there's no point. I refuse to play this card. I played it in 1 league. I actually trophied the league very easily. My first time ever playing Blue Painter, I had 2 One Rings, maybe 3 One Rings in my deck, and I immediately trophied. Never even played the deck before. The One Ring is so dumb. And it's so unfun. They've got 9 cards in their hand. They have to pay for the ward, and they have to pay for the Thalia attacks, but I wouldn't be surprised they had another Urza's Tower. They do. They didn't even bother matching the arts. Okay. So this is just Karn, and then we're going to get Lattice Locked. Oh, they're just going to... Well, they can't... what are they going to get? They just go get a key, and then they can One Ring some more? They can Lattice Lock next turn? If they play something out that I can Witch Enchanter, that'd be great, but I actually need another land to do that. Walking Ballista. I mean, they have 4 mana. It's a creature. They could do that, and they could hit this. Okay. They're not going to do anything? It's passed. I don't know why they passed that much mana up. They must have like K-Command or something. They'll go to clean up here. Next turn, I mean, they can Walking Ballista our entire board, basically. Oh, Emrakul. Yeah, that's still like a turn away, isn't it? Why bother keeping Emrakul? Okay, so let's think about this. So this puts a +1 counter on this. It would be so poetic if we could. If they have a K-Command, they still can't kill this. Because they have to K-Command this first. They don't have the... Well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they could. They could pay for it. I don't think this is going to work. I'm going to pretend it's going to work. I'm going to pretend. It's fun to pretend, isn't it? But they will absolutely just K-Command this. And Mom cannot do a thing to stop it. Yeah, there's the K-Command. Never don't have it. Oh, Tishana's Tidebender. Okay. Well, at least we're losing to something interesting. Does that actually... It stops the counter, but it doesn't stop... What is this targeting exactly? It's just targeting the trigger, so it doesn't stop me double damaging this, but unfortunately... Yeah, they just block. They have 13 life. They're going to lose 2. The mistake of blocking Karn, and then this... I think that's like literally the only... option we have. Can we attack 2 at Karn? No. Yeah, we're going to lose our board. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they can blast 5 times basically. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. If they block here, then they're dead. So they have to attack them. Oh, wait. Wait. Attack them. Then they can only block one of these. And this has double strike. And we just give this pro blue so they can't block it. Okay, I figured it out. I think this is an activated... Wait, it completely shut off his text. His text is all gray. So no, we're not going to win. Unfortunately. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that means we attack with them. They block this. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the ward won't protect. I'm thinking really hard because... Yeah, because that is the activated ability. Let's see. How does the text of this read? When this creature enters, if an ability of an artifact creature or planeswalker is countered. Okay, so it was the ability that's countered. Hitting for 5. And unfortunately, like, this is going to die. But it doesn't matter because that'll be our one shot at killing them. I mean, we could have a second shot. I'm also kind of thinking that maybe they go grab the One Ring. Or, yeah, I don't know. I think the best thing to do here is just to go ahead and attack without attacking with this. Because if they just trade with this, it kind of wrecks us. So I don't attack with that. I attack with this. I just ignore Karn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And that way at least they're taking 5. Yeah, I'll do that. I think most likely they're just going to One Ring again next turn. And we're going to lose anyway. Okay, yeah. And they did what I expected them to do. If we'd given this pro, we wouldn't have necessarily gotten rid of that. This does free this up for next turn if it's still on the table. They take 5. They're at 8. I don't think we play this out like... Yeah, I don't think having a second Thalia helps at all. I'll just play a Thalia out as yet another creature, potentially, which will buff this a little bit if they play out the Ballista, but they can use the Ballista and they can pump it a lot. Yeah. So they're at 6. I find it extremely unlikely they don't have Walking Ballista here. Or, I'm sorry, they definitely have Walking Ballista, but One Ring is what I'm saying. And please leave a comment with the timestamp if you solved this somehow. They were tapped out. We had all the information. But I just don't think there was a way to kill them because this got shut off. It's back on. I do have to clear this. Okay, more mana. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 mana. I'm pretty sure they can wreck our entire board with this Walking Ballista. Another One Ring. Okay. To no one's surprise. They passed, so they can't K command looking at their top card this turn cycle anymore. Like, Karn's most likely dead because I don't have anything else to attack. So they should just minus Karn to go get one more thing. They don't have the Mana of the Lattice right now, which is like one of the few saving graces. Oh, wait. No, they do because they've got one floating. They can Lattice us right now. Okay. They are just passing without using their Karn for some reason. When you have the One Ring, you don't even have to care about Karn. Okay, as for Sentinel, I'll play him out while I have the ability to tap mana at all. I guess I'll make it uncounterable. This grows this. I don't know if they have that flash dude anymore, but I think I should attack with both of these just in case. This is going to double strike him, which again does not matter. Karn is like double dead. Okay, 4 mana. They're gonna. What is this? Tishana's Tidebender. That's fine. What are they targeting? Nothing. They could have targeted the lose life thing if they wanted to. Glimmer Post. They gain a bunch of life. One Ring. I know I talk a lot about wanting Entomb banned. I would rather the One Ring banned. It's the least interesting card in Legacy. It's such a homogenizing force too. The reason everybody's just playing these big mana decks is they figured out, oh, well, if I just play the One Ring, there's no reason to play colored spells. I can just play stuff like this. Yeah, Walking Ballista is huge. X equals 6. Can shoot down most of our board. Yes. And then once it takes away the ability, and they can just jack it up next turn as well. Now we don't have the ward anymore. Sure. I will go ahead and give pro blue to this. I guess. I don't know. I guess I should have done it to one of these. I mean, when your opponent has functionally like infinite mana, like a lot of decisions cease to be important. Please shoot this too. Just get this off the board so you don't get to use it next turn. Okay, they're not going to do that for me. Well, if I play Witch Enchanter, I can get rid of it, but I won't be able to successfully attack them. Halia, I can just play her. This way, they can't ignore. Yeah, I'll just cast her straight up. She doesn't do anything here. She gains me a life, which is almost completely meaningless. All right, we're going to attack for 6. You're just going to chump, probably, and then hopefully shoot. But if you block with this, that's also unfortunate. I guess it was free to attack with this too. Yeah, that was a punt. It probably won't matter. Yeah, they're just going to shoot it anyway. Okay, she's dead. They're probably just going to One Ring loop again. Again, am going to hold this just in case they try something with like Ensnaring Bridge or something like that. I don't think it's likely. They are back up to Emerald Manual if they find him. They can also just keep playing out Glimmer Posts, annoyingly. The fact that it like gives them mana while also gaining them life is just another really annoying facet of this deck. They played a basic island. Stock up. This will probably find One Ring. Again, I'm trying to... We're not necessarily out of this game. But the thing is, like, it's so unfun to play against this because you just have to sit around and see whether you're out of it. You don't know? Okay, now we know. All right, that was a frustrating end to an otherwise pretty fun league. So we beat Blue-Red Delver twice. We lost to Merfolk, and I think that's aberrational. I think we're favored in that matchup. Yeah, so again, a 2-3. Not the outcome that I wanted. But the deck is a no reserve list deck. I don't know of any ways to improve this. The mana felt fine. Before I was playing without the Witch Enchanters. Witch Enchanter, I don't think ever came up as like an actual meaningful game piece. But you could cut Witch Enchanter. But like I did play a league before where I played against Carnforge, and of course they got the Ensnaring Bridge, and there was just no answer in my 75. Witch Enchanter is an answer. This also does get tucked under Chrome Mox, which is nice. So you could take this out and just put more planes, and then you won't die to Harbinger in your monocolor deck. That was absolutely humiliating. Again, shout out to Hataraxy for trophying with Merfolk. It is a strong build. I think it's an underestimated build. I'm not going to say it's like a tier deck or anything, but the fact that it has main deck disruption for Reanimator is significant. So the board felt great. Like, we didn't ever bring these in. I do think you can bring one in against Carnforge, but that last deck we were playing against wasn't Carnforge. I just want to emphasize that was just blue control. It casts like one spell per turn, but it casts, you know, like an Ugin or something like that. So, yeah, they're substantial. Containment Priest. Yeah, I did do a league earlier where I beat Blue-Black Reanimator, like, just straight up. With Containment Priest, it was quite strong. I can't remember if that was another one of our losses in this league. But overall, I think the list is great. If you want to do a budget version, just cut the Esper Sentinel. It's like $50 for some reason. I don't know why. And then Chrome Moxes, of course, I don't know why they're so expensive, but they are. You could play this. Like, I don't know what else to put in here because you really do want to have white so you can double spell. But you don't want to have like Ancient Tomb or something. That's really just a different deck. And if you want to see those types of decks, I've got lots of videos where I'm doing what I call red-white humans, which is also all humans and can make use of Cavern of Souls impeccably without, like, you know, a lot of Cavern of Souls decks, like, they throw it in there and they're like, this is fine, but it's not actually fine. It's like terrible because they have too many different creature types, and it often comes up. But like I genuinely think if you're playing Cavern of Souls, you should really be playing all of the creature type, and of course Clarion Conqueror being the exception here. It would have really been nice if we'd found Clarion Conqueror in that final round, but I don't think it would have actually mattered. Unfortunately, these One Ring decks are just, it's going to be really annoying if you want to play aggro in Legacy, because what's going to happen is you're going to get the player within like 2 or 3 life of death, and then they're just going to jam a One Ring, or they're going to start slowly regaining their life through the Glimmer Posts and stuff. But overall, I'm happy with the performance of this deck. I definitely think that this is not nearly as good as the Red White Humans, which I've been getting like, 4-1s with and stuff. Like, I think this is a way better deck. Let me show you this. Bormir's a house, Anointed Peacekeeper. The main thing is this ends the game a lot faster and more disruptively. You've got Chalice, which doesn't do a lot against that. Actually, I think that's a bad matchup for pretty much every deck. That blue post. I'm trying to think of a deck that would be a good matchup. Like I think even like K-Command is so good against Reanimator and stuff. I'm not actually sure whether there is a positive matchup. That may just be like a 55-60% win rate deck. Our opponent was doing little misplays like not activating Karn, just forgetting to activate Karn and stuff, and it didn't even matter. I do, and the thing is, like, Magus doesn't even matter as much against them because they have islands and they can, like sink it to stupor it. They have Force of Will, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird time to be playing Legacy. If I had to just play Legacy, I've been having a great time with my Blue White Cat deck. I double 4-1, like back-to-back 4-1s with it. Let me show you that. If you want to play Guide of Souls in a shell where it can win, I think this is probably the shell. Because you got Mockingbirds, Ocelot Pride is very strong, and you could just go crazy. I do have a couple Giver runes. These are the flex slots. But like this deck, like if you haven't watched it yet, I do a double league with this deck. So solid. So if you're going to play a weenie deck, like my humble advice is, put some blue in your weenie deck so that you can at least have some game against these One Ring decks, because it is just so oppressive having like no recourse and like, okay, they played a One Ring, and even though I have a Witch Enchanter, I can't, blow it up or anything because it's indestructible. So again, here is the list. This is based off of a list that like I think 5-0'd or did really well in a challenge. It's not directly based off, like I made some changes myself, but it was basically the Erdnun deck fair. I couldn't find the list to credit it, but I just want to point out that this is not just like some crazy brew that I came up with. Like, it is based off of a deck that has performed in a recent challenge. So, yeah. Would I recommend playing this list? No. Again, I would recommend playing something with blue in it right now. This is kind of halfway there in terms of having the Wasteland. Just add the... but you're not going to be able to play Tempo in blue unless you play Merfolk. And I think Merfolk is pretty decent right now. So I would definitely say Merc is going to be more disruptive than this, but this is probably just more like pedal to the metal. We didn't get the quick champion of the parish kill, but I have gotten it where like you're basically turn 3, or you're turn 2 hitting him for 6, turn 3 hitting him for like, dead basically. And that absolutely can happen with Champion of the Parish. And with that, until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.